Hello and welcome to Easy Maths. This will be the first lesson on a series of lessons on the topic of approximation and errors. And so we'll begin with the approximation. And in other lessons we'll look at accuracy and errors and propagation of errors respectively. Let's begin with the first one, approximation. Under approximation we're going to look at some three concepts, and so let's begin with the first one, rounding off. It's assumed that at this point students have been exposed to the whole idea of rounding off, but let me mention the following. To try that, I'm trying with an example. We're told round off this number here to the nearest hundreds. The first thing we should ask ourselves is always this number here is between which two hundreds, and it is close to which of those two hundreds. Obviously this number is between 131 hundreds and 132 hundreds, or if you like, it is between 13100 and 13200. If you divide this number by 100, you get something like this. It's somewhere between this and then this one. Now it is more than 131.5 hundreds, and therefore it's close to the next one, which is 132 hundreds. The reason is it's 131.8 something hundreds. It's more than 131.5. Therefore we can say rounding this number to the nearest hundred will be 132 hundreds, or if you like 13,200. And that's the same concept that you should always use when you're rounding off numbers to the given degree of accuracy that you've been asked. Another concept is the whole idea of truncating. The major difference between rounding off and truncating is that rounding off, like in this case, when you're rounding to the nearest hundreds, we considered the tens place value, like the 8. That's when we say it here, it's more than 5. And so we rounded off by taking it to the next 100, which is 132. Truncating would mean we just ignore other digits after the one that we want. And so let's look at it this way. We told truncate this same number to two significant figures. Now this number has 5 significant figures as follows. The 1 is the first one, the 3 is the second one, the next one is the third significant figure, the first 8 is the fourth, and the last one respectively. This number to two significant figures means that we just need to preserve the 1 and the 3, and the others go away. And because we're truncating, we just ignore and replace them with zeros, and therefore the answer will be 13,000. We shall see more examples on this in a short while. Another concept that's necessary is the idea of significant numbers. All digits except 0 are always significant, and again a 0 is only significant when it falls between two digits. We shall see this again a lot more in other examples, and so let's try some examples. We're told round off the following numbers to the nearest thousands, hundreds, and tens. The numbers are given on the screen there. This number, the other one, and the next one there. So let's attempt it by filling this table. The hundreds place value, hundreds rounding off to hundreds, so thousands, hundreds, and tens respectively. The first one, you ask yourself, it's between which two thousands? It's close to which one? It should be close to 80,000. It's between 79 and 80. The hundreds is between 795 and 796. It's close to which one? 795 The tens, the answer should be 79,550, that particular way. All this time considering the next place value. For example, for the thousands, we consider the hundreds. It's more than 5, it's 5 or more, that means we move on to the next thousands. The same thing for the hundreds, we consider the tens place value. Is it more than 5? No, so we maintain the 00. We just move back to the previous 100. The same thing with the tens, we look at the ones place value, which is 6. It's more than 5, so that means we move on to 5, where we have 4 here, and that's the same progress that should happen here. Now using the same concept, 379,876 should be 380,000. The next one should be 379,900, and the last one should be 379,880. The reason is for the thousands, this number is between 379 and 380. It's close to which one? 380. For the 100, it's between 3798 and 3799. It's close to which one? 3799 hundreds. For the tens, again we look at the place value for ones or units if you like. It's more than 5, so it means we just add the 1 that way. Then for the next number there, thousand should be 4,000. The next one for the hundreds should be again 40 hundreds, which is 4,000. The next one should be 4,030. Let's continue to some more examples. We thought round off the following numbers to the nearest thousandths, hundredths, and tenths. Again, this time around we're using decimal places to do similar questions, and the questions are on your screen. There are 3 examples there. Again, filling them in this table here, we're going to do the following. The thousandths, the first number should remain the way it is. The hundreds, we consider the thousandth place value. In this case, it's 6, so we move on to the next. Should be 67.25. The 4 adds 1. You add 1 to the 4. The units, or sorry, tenths, we look at the hundredths plus value. So it should be 20. If you want to round off the nearest tenths, so it should be 67.2. Again, following the same order or the same progress or procedure, we're going to get this answer, and again the next answer there 0.04. We're going to get 0 for thousands, hundreds, and tens respectively. The next question there should be this way, the next one that way. Please slow the video so that you can do them, and you'll be able to understand what I'm doing there. Another question, you told truncate the following numbers to the accuracy given in brackets. This first case is here, we were rounding off to some given accuracy. This time around we're truncating. So let's compare. The first thing, we're given a number there, 709.398 to 1 decimal place. We're truncating. That means we are ignoring any digits after the first decimal place. That means the answer will be simply 709.3. The next one, we have 3.321, 2 significant figures, means we just need the first two. 3.3, we ignore the rest. The next thing, we have 16,988. We need 4 significant figures, so we need to have it as 16,980. The reason is 4 significant figures. That means we just need the 1, the 6, the 9, the 8, and ignore anything else, but replace it with 0. Since when you put it as 0, it's not significant. We only have 4 significant figures. This answer here. Again, we have 56.615. 2 significant figures should be just 56. The next one should be 3 decimal places, should be 062. Since we are truncating, ignore the rest. The last question goes on that particular way, 56.60, 2 decimal places. Let's compare this with significant rounding off to the same degree of accuracy in brackets. We are rounding off these same numbers to the degree of accuracy in brackets. This time we're rounding off, we were truncating. We're going to compare how the answers are different. The first number to 1 decimal place should be 0.4. That's the first one. The first way was 0.3. So look at the difference there. This time round we're just ignoring the digits. This time round we are rounding off, moving on to the next 10th place value. The next one was 2 significant figures, should be 3.3. That answer should be preserved because of the type of digit we have after 3. The next one is 4 significant figures. We are rounding off. That means should be 16,990. Look at the difference there. 56.615. 2 significant figures again should be 57. There's a difference there also if you compare with 56 previously. 0.06291. 3 decimal places should be that particular way. There's a difference also. The last question, 56.605. There's also a difference there because of the idea of rounding off. We're not ignoring. Now, notice the difference between rounding off and truncating. Truncating means ignoring. Rounding off means you move on to the next place value. We consider the next place value, and you could move that number either to the next, let me call them plus value, depending on whether it's hundreds or tens or thousands or whatever it is. Just the same way I've done there. So please just get the difference there. Truncating means ignoring. Rounding off isn't. Now check out for the next lesson, which will be about accuracy and errors. And I like if you subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you.